to say, well, no Sejuani's allowed. We're not going to first pick it. They would love to first pick Zoe if it was left open. Will we see Zoe versus Galio one game too late for Gen G? We'll find out. Gen G can also start banning, but there's a lot of annoying stuff you have to ban, and even the Xayah Rakan being left open to the red side is something Afreeca may not want to engage with, so you might consider banning I would say the Xayah against Ruler, because he was so good on the Xayah pick last time out, but they're going to ban the Zoe, saying maybe they want to first pick the Xayah.
Definitely leaves that option open. I think after game number 1, you would ban the Xayah, but they go ahead and ban Rakan instead, the other half of that Lovers bot lane duo. First pick, though, the Aatrox is left available, and Keen is one of the biggest Aatrox players we have here in Korea. A gigantic grin on his face as he feels confident that he'll be able to carry to a 2-0.
I'm going to guess that Kuro, who plays some of the most unique picks of any mid laner, is going to be happy taking the mid lane if necessary.
Yeah, why not?
There's a lot of counter picks open and farm matchups against the Aatrox open on the red side. We're seeing highlights of some of those great moments for Keen's Aatrox.
I think that was actually Kuro playing that one in that one highlights. No, actually I'm wrong. He hasn't played Aatrox just yet. Getting my K names mixed up.
Careful with that one, Valdez.
Yeah. Don't want to slip up.
Well, Ambition just says, yeah, I know. I'm just going to play Trundle.
I mean, the Skarner was left available. He could have played that one
I know!
too. Decides on Trundle.
You know what I would have loved to see, unironically? Gragas. He's a great Gragas player. Ambition's one of the best. Scoring and Ambition are top-tier Gragas players. Not a big fan of just straight-up Trundle, but that's what we see, is we see just straight-up Ashe as well. Ruler gave an interview last time at Spo TV where he said 80 carries are good, especially Ashe. So, going to first round it. And Keen says, well, if I have enough items, I might be able to Goomba Stomp you.
I don't know. I feel like the Ezreal would have been better overall. I mean, you have a couple of things that can dive into your backline and zone you out really well, and Ashe does not do very well against Swain and Shen in the bot lane with an Aatrox for team fights. I feel like Afreeca already pulling ahead in this draft.
I mean, Tucson looks like that he knows the team already got the bonanza, getting 3 champions to get banned very frequently. Meanwhile, Gen G get a good matchup against Sejuani with Sejuani banned and Ashe. So, I mean, the Ashe can be very powerful, but already a lot of good tools on the side of Afreeca. Will we actually see Kennen versus Aatrox? We will. Very interesting that we're going to see just Cuvée having a champion that can be ganked. There's certainly other gank options, but range versus melee. You can understand that the laning trades could be very good for Cuvée. Would he dare go AP Kennen in this matchup, you wonder?
It's definitely an option here. He is 2-0 on the Kennen, so you know that he is very confident on the pick. It's part of the reason why we do have him come through. Not a lot of frontline tankiness for the side of Gen G. They're going to ban out another Bruiser in the Yasuo here.
Spirit versus Ambition. A lot of games played in the jungle. But remember that Ambition will have map hacks. He's got the Hawk Shot going on, and he did watch game number 1 in the back, so maybe it's going to have to be on Ambition, outpathing, doing a Songwan-style Trundle game, and just winning it off his own back. It's possible. No jungler yet claimed by the Afreeca Freecs, so you do see the Camille ban, one of Spirit's fallbacks. Look at what he's played this season and what's open. Probably not going to be the Graves. Maybe he'll jump onto the Skarner this time out.
Yeah, doesn't get banned out here. Morgana comes in for probably 3 or 4 match days as a must pick, a first pick, and then slowly has fallen off as other teams don't value it as much. Thinking about the Ashe for just the ultimate disengage in the bottom side, but actually go with the Taric down there.
Every time you see Taric, you are instantly get that cold rash. I know I do. I get goosebumps thinking about Master Yi, but probably not going to happen here. I guess it could happen, maybe? Probably not, though. We'll hope not. Focusing on the Afreeca Freecs side, looking at their choice. It could have been the Swain Shen, which is a pretty cool duo. May still be, but they're going to lock in a Vladimir, and that has been Aiming's go-to pick so far in the summer season. They have a let's run at them comp, and Ashe is not very good at being run at.
How's the 37 KDA looking for Aiming? It's pretty good. On top of his 3-0 for Vlad. nearly 30% of the damage done. If the game goes longer, they're going to be happy about that Vlad.
It's a really good Skarner game because you know who you want to Skarner ult the most? It's Taric. You want to kill him before he Cosmic Radiances, and then Hemoplague and friends are going to do big damage. So I mentioned Skarner in terms of what was open. I like the pick. What's the final pick going to be here for Gen G? Probably not going to be Nami. Because then we'd be wondering where Taric was going. I guess it could be Ashe and Taric mid lane duo. That'd be really weird.
I feel like they're trolling a little bit, even more than they've already trolled in this draft. Definitely feel like Afreeca got the better of this one.
And it's
just look
on
at
mid
the
lane.
straight up picks, it's like, okay.
We're going to see our first on mid lane of the season here in Korea, seen it in other regions. It's against nebulously Vladimir or Swain. We'll be able to trade very decently against it, so a lot going on for the side of Gen G. Makes sense that Fly would be going on mid lane. He, of course, is the first to play the Poppy mid lane in the solo queue that Faker played yesterday in professional play. He was, of course, expecting either Vladimir or Swain. Ornn is very sustained, and we do get Ornn mid lane.
That's not bad. It definitely follows the line of, you know, the Galio, the Scion in the mid lane. You sit there, you farm, you're tanky, you have an ultimate that can reach far, you can help out with jungle fights if they're nearby.
Do you have to go AP Ken in this game? Because the damage burden is pretty heavy onto the Ashe, who's already utility focused as a carry, so maybe it has to be AP Cannon. I really, really, really like what Afreeca put together, and Gen G's requires tempo. You'd say the same thing about Gen G's Game 1 draft, and it worked till it didn't, but that was so early. This time they do have fallback engage. Depending on the build from Cuvée, they can have either split push or team fight, but you do say that Afreeca conventionally has a very powerful draft.
For me, honestly, I look at this, and if I were on the side of Gen G in solo queue, I might consider dodging. It definitely feels like that kind of composition where you're like, I can't see this working. Especially in solo queue, it requires so much as a team to make it work.
You got to say the genius is definitely not skin deep. It definitely seems to be very below the skin here, the genius on the side of Gen G. Whereas Afreeca's just a real looker. You look at it and you're like, that's nice.
That is the solo queue comp.
That is what I like.
Put me on that team right now, coach. I want to be on that side. Definitely feels like the easy win until your top lane Aatrox goes 0-8.
And Keen's had some struggling games. I think Cuvée really needs to smash him 1v1.
Yeah, again, some of the importance. We're going to be looking up in the top lane once again. Who's going to be winning in that matchup? Going to be one of the factors here. Let's count down to game number 2 right now. Yep, here we go. Little shout.
Oh, yeah. Orange Dad's underrated.
There was a fan out there that was shouting out the Sunke, I believe.
He said thank you as the first thing of his broadcast. Bit of English on the Korean broadcast. Love it. Kamsahamnida for a bit of Korean on the English broadcast.
Ooh. You gotta make it even, you know. Don't want to be biased either way.
Really want to show off my huge vocabulary.
Hey, you got that down.
Thanks.
You know, you don't know that many words, but the words that you do know, they're pretty good. I mean, your pronunciation is on point.
I have that weird thing where I can pronounce pretty well, but my foreign language is a bit of French. My French is, I could read, you know, I can read a newspaper and I could probably have a simple chat, but I have to think about it. It's like high school French, many years removed. A little bit of Japanese, a little bit of Korean is kind of where I'm at. Whereas your Korean is very good.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely fall into this similar category where I'm better at reading, my pronunciation is pretty good, but then speaking is harder, but I can do it. You know, I can push it forward and actually get through a conversation. But
can Tucson and Aiming get to the minion wave because Ashe very, very strong at level 1, and can Core JJ get value of what would be a massive, massive ultimate as this game goes on? Cosmic Radiance this game against Vlad Swain can be so, so big. If they can out-sustain front-loaded burst, and then Ruler has 3 items, including an Infinity Edge, they could win team fights. But if you're Skarner, you really want to kill the Taric first.
Seems like a very easy target. If the target does not have his flash up, what are you really going to be doing here? This mid lane is going to be interesting for the first couple of levels as they trade back and forth, but then they'll just sustain through, get tanky, the two of them, and then we won't have to really look here again.
At least when you have mid lane Ornn, as Ambition, you can definitely go for invades because you kind of have a secret global when you're mid lane Ornn, because your ult goes basically everywhere in the enemy jungle. So there's actually a lot of invade pressure as Fly starts to hit level 6. And as we saw from yesterday's Poppy mid lane game from Faker, both Ornn and Poppy have amazing gank assists. Whether you have the Ornn ultimate, even before the Ornn ultimate, Ornn can create that situational Malphite ult with the QE, can also get the searing charge against the wall. So given how many CC options at range and at short range are there for the Ornn, as Ambition, you really can battle ward on the Trundle pretty extensively.
Yeah, that's what he's doing exactly. He wants to come in here, gets his first small raptor. Oh, nice grab there by Spirit, gets two of them. But look at this, Fly and Core JJ, level 2 Core JJ is coming in. Nice little leash there. The Vision of Empire of the Swain, and he picks up the big raptor.
In a short lane, Ornn is just really, really obnoxious to deal with. So that's why Ambition can be a huge jerk. That's why this draft can situationally work. But the collapse could also happen. We'll wait and see how it goes. Ambition trying to walk away.
Just have that pillar, and with the pushing bottom lane, Vlad's not very strong early. Ashe is very strong early. They do have that first push. It's just another thing we've been talking about a lot, in especially this meta. But hold that thought, as Keen wants to go onto Cuve here. He's going to get stunned up and then just back off.
Cooldowns, of course, in the early game are going to gate a lot of the threat from Keen, and his ultimate is needed to finish off a ranged opponent, that's for sure. So in the end, it's going to be fine. We'll draw your attention to the keystone choice when we did see Smeb go for AP Cannon that was Unsealed Spellbook. Press the attack almost always will be the AD Cannon, so focused on the lane. Rageblade Blade of the Rune King might be the purchase again. Is going for Kuro.
The pillar's going to pop him on the other side. Had that popped him towards the Trundle, I think that's an easy flash that they get out of Kuro.
That was actually poor synergy between Fly and Ambition. Should definitely have held one of the cooldowns and then been able to have the pillar behind. So that could actually been a kill onto Kuro. At minimum, a summoner use. And pre-level 8, pre the stopwatch coming online, that's the big window to make those sort of plays happen.
Spirit looking top. Aatrox, another good thing about him is that he's got pretty good gank assists too. Just sits in there, dark flights in, and can really put that upfront damage. And if you have the Skarner to get there right on time, get a couple of stuns, slow him down, could be an easy kill, or at least the flash out of Cannon.
For now, Aatrox being able to do pretty handedly in this lane. First time we're seeing it at LCK level. Usually you give kind of an auto 10 CS lead to the range champion. It's the reality of being ranged versus melee, but very, very competitive between the two. I saw you do a bit of a double take after Cuve missed an easy last hit.
I mean, yeah.
Cannon also has to go for a, let's say, substandard first buy and have to go Ninja Tabi to respect.
Just get the camera off these guys. They're missing all the CS. Ornn ultimate comes in, and he's actually going to dive on in with the Ignite, the first blood! The solo kill in the mid lane. Fly is angry about game one, and he shuts him down.
Oh, Kuro, you played with fire against mid lane Ornn. We've seen enough top lane solo kills to know how much burst damage Ornn can do. Just fly things on the flash Ignite tank like Faker yesterday. This time a solo kill for Fly.
We talk about how Swain, before he gets a couple of items, he can't push all that well, and Ornn, one of the best. So he hits level 6 first, and unfortunately, Kuro does not respect it.
Kuro doesn't play against a lot of Ornns. He just really, really disrespects, as amusingly Core JJ was bugging out in the minimap. Watches the replay, he gets hit by the ult, Searing Charge takes forever, Kuro flash it. But no, he disrespects Flash, and yeah, I don't understand it. Honestly, that was a pretty easy escape for Kuro. Doesn't play to the majority of his win conditions in that skirmish and gives up the easy kill to Gen G.
I think you're exactly right. If you don't play against Ornn, sometimes you can be really caught off guard. Early game, just his base damage on his skills, you might be like, oh no, I'm Swain, you know, I should be fine here. But no, absolutely not, especially when he has Ignite. This isn't even teleport Ornn in the mid lane or anything like that to help out. This is, I'm going to kill the Swain early Ornn.
Watching bot side, remember, we've already noted that Vlad and Shen aren't going to be doing much in the early game, so that's why Gen.G get away with the Taric, because Ashe will just win the lane 1v2 straight up. And we know that the Cosmic Radiance could have massive value. But it's also more than that. It's also, what is the timer? Well, I can't use my stopwatch if I misjudge. He didn't have his ultimate either. The list of things he didn't have was extremely long, and in the end he didn't have enough respect, and it was an easy kill for Fly. He didn't even have to use his flash to secure it either.
Yep, super easy kill for Fly. He even gets the flash at a Kuro that came in late, and now, I mean, he's picked up a Null Magic Mantle, the 0 AP so far. Swain is going to be doing 0 damage to him, and that's just another great lane for Gen.G to start winning. They've got mid on their side, they have bot on their side. Gives Ambition a lot of room to push forward and look for opportunities that he might not have earlier on. But so far, it's been pretty even in the jungle. 51 to 51. These guys haven't been leaning one way or the other. Really, just Ambition has been getting a couple more scuttle crabs. That is a terrible feeling. I hate when that happens when you're playing Swain. You got to walk all the way over as Ornn is pushing into you.
Did he really do 141 damage
Yeah, he did.
to the blue that was at 142 health?
Yep.
Wow.
I hope that's in the highlight reel later on.
That is a highlight.
Yeah.
Because now, as Kuro, you're double tilted. Of course, when you get solo killed, that's when that happens as well.
Yeah. You know, in competitive matches, we always get the highlights, the serious stuff, right? But how about a low light reel for once? That would be nice to get. Maybe if we were running like at-home sort of tournaments, that would be easier to put together, as I'm sure these pro players don't want to be embarrassed on the main stage, but that was definitely a bit of a funny one.
You know, I'm sure with the SNS era we're in, the social media, the Twitter, they'll be told about it, Valdez. The word will get out
They'll find
there.
out.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't even like a big mistake, right? It's just a funny moment where it's like, well, you were 1 damage off, literally.
Normally a Hearthstone analysis, but in this case, very important for the game.
1 damage off lethal on the blue buff.
Look, he is competitive in CS, and Fly won't be able to kill him now. Now there's the ultimate and the stopwatch, and theoretically a flash very soon, but yeah. Awkward for Kuro so far. He just wants to get his items on, and I think teamfights will be happy, but maybe we won't see teamfights, because we're going to see an Ornn ultimate.
Yeah, Ornn roaming down on the bottom side, but they're called off, actually. The rotation coming in here from Afreeca, as Gen.G say, no, we're missing the minion wave, but now they're going on to Tucson here. Did get his dodge circle down, but nicely done with the pillar. Dazzle not able to come in fast enough, and the taunt away from Tucson gets him to safety.
Gen.G trying to increase the pace of the game. No Vladimir 2 items, no Swain 2 items. Here is that ultimate.
Pool is there, and well, they try to back them off. Spirit is in here, Ambition is nearby. They have a decent amount of wave clear, you know, with the Skarner and the Vlad to come in, but the quick push in here with Ornn and Ashe means that this should be an easy first blood turret to Gen.G.
I think Gen.G have really played this draft supremely well. I know before the game started, we were critical because of the amount of obvious synergy for Afreeca and power picks in the meta. The reason why I wasn't as hasty and just handing over the victory based on tier lists is that Gen.G kind of have always played their own way. They played very slow in a fast meta many, many times through the past. They're using their marksman versus non-marksman 2v2 really well. I'm impressed with how well Gen.G have played around their winning bot lane. And Ambition, for once, hasn't been in his own jungle power farming to 6. He's been playing with lane pressure. So far, so good for Gen.G, even though Afreeca has some good moments with this comp later in the game.
This is a very common response if, you know, you get your bottom lane turret pushed in and they also go for the dragon, and you can see that the objectives are taken. You would expect them to go back, and during that time when they go back, you can pick up the Rift Herald. So even though you do lose a couple of objectives, including the first blood turret, you can try to strike back with this one. We'll see where they decide to use that, as the mid lane turret has been taking basically no damage, as the Ornn has been winning that matchup.
Here comes Ambition.
Oh boy, aiming in a lot of trouble here. Does have his flash, but the stun comes in first. Shen is going to stand beside him, and finally the flash does come in, and aiming gets to safety.
Able to trade a flash because he used the flash late, so I guess all in all that ends up being a little bit of an extra thing. For the side of Afreeca, they do use the Shen ultimate defensively, never ideal. But it seemed like the Shen was going to group up anyway. Looking towards the Spellbinder is aiming, who halts it for now to pick up the CDR boots. Cuvée hits the side lane. Is very much equal to that of Keen. And notice that Keen isn't going for the same build path, isn't going for Titanic Hydra, Rage Blade. Seems like it's going to be the Trinity Force from Keen this time out.
Yep, trying to hit a little bit harder. See if he can do that, you know, get to his Trinity Force very fast and try to take aggressive trades against Cuvée. Might help him out there.
Darkflight CDR was the thing that Smeb, the other Trinity Force Aatrox player, talked about. Can be very important, both for engage and disengage. Using it twice in a fight rather than just once can be very big. So, little small thing that the Trinity Force build does provide.
He's been keeping very even so far with Cuvée in the top side, which is now the bot side, so should be pretty happy about that one. The biggest disparity in terms of the CS numbers is in the bot lane. Ashe over Vlad by about 32. Just to be expected, but that means that the Ashe is going to come back online a little bit slower.
Vladimir Spellbinder can do things, but we do see 2 or 3 items for Vladimir to fully take over. Gone Phase Rush and not Electrocute for the reliability of getting into team fights. Team fight will be the saviors, the way Afreeca Freecs will consider their position at 14 minutes. They do have a bit of Elo Heaven about those, but it's not like Gen G's is super weak, short of the Kennen or the Ashe, the 2 AD carries, I guess, in their comp. One of them being assassinated, that's where the team comp does take a bit of a dive in terms of damage.
Really enjoying the Ornn put in as the last pick. There were lots of other picks they could have gone for in the mid lane, especially. Could have gone for just straight AP, but they decided to go for that Rock in the mid lane, the very easy engage, the reliable engage to help out all their other picks. So far, it's been working out great for them.
The winner for that was definitely Ambition, because he saw that pick, he trusted in what I'm sure Fly said, which is, I will have priority on the Swain, and from there made some really nice plays around the map. It hasn't gotten a CS lead. It's not reflected in really any metric, but it's been clear to the viewer that Ambition has slowed down Spirit. We've seen basically no use of the ultimate. In fact, there may not have even been an ult this game.
Nope.
Thinking back, I believe at 15 minutes we have not seen a single suppression. And that means the Skarner hasn't been able to start any lane snowball, and the game has just been Ruler and Core JJ moving around the map, finding turrets to chip down.
It's definitely made this Skarner just sit in the back line and not do much. He's farming pretty well, which means that that ult bot is always going to be online, but already the QSS picked up here by Ruler, who does have that gigantic lead down on the bottom side. And no doubt more QSSs will be picked up. You were talking about ults onto the Taric. We'll see if he can reach for that QSS to try to survive in team fights later on.
A common thing to see is the ult into the Taric. Spirit's not been able to put down the Rift Herald, and this is not going to be a massive one. Will it even get a charge? The answer, I think, is yes.
Maybe a little mini charge.
Here it goes. It doesn't matter.
No charge.
That's really big, because the charge has that huge minimum damage after the changes. Don't normally shout about Rift Herald charges, but because it does basically 1,800 damage base, stopping the charge, getting nothing from the one map objective that Afreeca picked up is another nice thing for the side of Gen G.
You know, it was really important. It was a 2-on-1 in the bottom lane until Ambition came, so perfect positioning from him to basically deny any damage onto that bottom side turret. Sometimes it's the little things that Ambition does which makes him a little bit more solid than Haru.
I remember when we were coming into top 20 voting for Worlds last year, and I had Ambition pretty high. I think I had him around 11th place in the top 20 players. And, you know, I was caught up on that by the Moose on the Loose, Deficio, and Jad. And I was like, name a better jungler at this tournament. And they couldn't. They agreed Ambition was the best. Ambition's intangibles are always the things that have been so impressive. If you remember, when they beat KT Rolster in the Worlds qualification match, it was his Sejuani stopping Smeb's Kennen from ever getting into a fight.
Yeah.
The sort of thing that didn't show up in the KDA but won them the game. His pressure this game has allowed Ashe to rotate around, has allowed Gen G to play a flawless game plan around a 0-0-0 stat line. That's ambition. He's got his experience. He's kind of the king of the intangibles.
Yeah.
Sometimes it falls apart and he does very little, but this has been a good performance from Gen G, and ambition in particular.
He's just the old man of League of Legends, you know? He's very wise.
Back in my day, there was no
Exactly.
Faker.
He knows
I was in the
so
mid lane,
much.
don't you know?
He's so wise about jungle pathing and little things in the game that really matter. It's the small things in life, Grandpa Ambition will say. Whereas Haru, you know, he's the young buck. He's very mechanically skilled. He'll be in your face, very flashy, you know, very violent, aggressive. Ambition's not like that. He's in his rocking chair. He's like, I know exactly where to be to stop this Rift Herald.
I like to think he's asked what's in the meta. He just, in my head, he doesn't play the game. He's just told what's in the meta, and he's like, no, next match.
That doesn't make sense. Let me teach you. Back in my day, we didn't play any of this.
Rek'Sai was the most demanding champion I had to play.
Rek'Sai, man. Definitely feels like back in the day. But we are going to have this Mountain Drake being pushed upon by Gen G. They definitely want a second one to help out with that Baron damage. But so far, they're being very respectful. You know, they're only 500 gold ahead. Keen is pushing up in the top side, up a level here on Cuvée.
He has a reach of feed at 18 minutes. You won't see this very often. Screenshot this one, kids. An awesome sight to behold.
Yeah.
I think he's building a Tiamat. It's not that he just misclicked on refillable.
Are you sure?
No, I'm not.
You're not? Okay. Lots of posturing around here. The arrow is going to go wide. Good dodge there by Spirit. Or an ultimate coming on in. Spirit's still very, very low. Stand Beside Me does come in to keep him alive. Stand United, rather. I keep on saying Stand Beside Me. Don't know why.
You want to watch some Draven?
Yeah. Well, now they have to push. Lots of damage coming onto aiming, and to Spirit means that Gen G, with that one move, even without getting a couple of kills, will get the push in the mid lane and the rotation over to the Mountain Drake.
What does it mean, though? Because Keen with Trinity Force, Aatrox going to do decent damage, the side lane, and Gen G are trying to increase the pace before Vladimir and the rest get ahead.
There it is. Keen's going in onto Cuvée. He flashes in. Cuvée flashing away. He's trying to get close. You were talking about that cooldown. We also have a fight on the main thing. Gonna miss the Q down there is the Aatrox, but on the main screen, the Hemoplay coming on in. The Mountain Drake is going to be least, but Ambition pushing on in. Old Wise Man says now is the time to take the Mountain Drake, and there he will get it. The second Drake going over to Gen G.
A lot happening, but just like this game, very little in terms of the scoreboard. Clearly, Keen is feeling it when it comes to the 1v1 with this Trinity Force DDI. We'll go for a pick.
Oh boy, pulled in. There was Ambition, but here's
Another
the Orin
ultimate.
from behind. Aiming, trying to push forward now. He's super fast with the Spellbinder, and the big three-man knockup from Fly. Trying to get into the back line. Going to be stopwatching the damage as Aiming, and Kuro does get a kill, but the Vladimir's going to come down. Look at Keen in the back line, trying to do that damage. Nice knockup on the Orin once again, but a double kill is going to come in. The Aatrox making so much room for this Swain to pop off. 3 kills for Kuro now. Looking for the 4th one here onto Core JJ. So close, trying to land it there was Keen. Not quite able to get the kill, but they win the fight in a big way.
And we're seeing the preview of the teamfight power that will come for Afreeca Freecs when they get their items. Maybe we're getting close, Valdez. It felt like 2 or 3. 1.5 is going pretty well for this team. Keen teleports in. He knows he can keep fighting because everyone has used their skills on the side of Gen G and had low health. Going to be extended replay. Let's watch it from the start. The damage isn't there, so a lot of these CC abilities are not sticking for lethal damage this early. The Shen taunt comes in short, second on ult of the fight. Aiming gets in the backline, starts the zone. Notice that Ruler, the entire fight is He has no mana to be able to do anything, and Keen can jump in. People can go in 1v3 and they don't die quickly because there isn't any Qs or Ws coming through from Ruler, and that's awkward for the side of Gen G.
And you think about the macro play and how we got to this position for Gen G. They had just taken the Mountain Drake and they were just fighting for position over there. You mentioned not just for the Ashe, but for 3-4 members on the side of Gen G. They were trying to force in through that little corridor to save their mid tier 1, which of course is a very important objective. But is it worth losing the team fight in that big of a way? I'm not so sure.
Damage numbers amusing because Ashe still did 5,200 damage, but she needs to be doing 8,000 damage. She needs to actually be able to overtake the fight, but You could see that the No Mana Ashe didn't pass the eye test, couldn't get the kills. No one falls down. Now we're going to get to those extra item timings on the side of the Afreeca Freecs, and there's a Void Staff very early from the Vladimir. Knows that he wants to have threat.
Really not a common item. Sometimes you'll see Proto Belt Spellbinder, sometimes you'll see Spellbinder, Death Cap, very common, but the Void Staff coming in, I guess he wants to deal with all of that magic resist on the side of Gen G.
The theory of it is these fights are going to go on a long time, so I'll get there. I don't need the extra oomph of a Proto Belt or Shurelya's or something like that. And also, I'm going to mostly be hitting Ambition, Fly, Core JJ. I'm going to need some Magic Pen because it's going to be amusingly tanky Fly on basically magic resist stacking duty, so I don't mind it. You're right, it is very non-standard compared to normal builds.
It's something you always have to keep in mind. You don't want to just go and turn off your brain when you're going against different compositions. Always got to take everything into account.
Maybe we're going to see a 30-minute rejuve bead because straight-up Frozen Mallet has been complete. This is the I don't want the cannon to run away itemization.
He's like, I was so close to killing you the last time. If I have a Frozen Mallet, you can't get away from me build. And it makes sense, right? Look at the cannon now. 2 levels down on Keen. Cannot get close to the turret even. He's sitting in the back brush here. Looks like he had vision of the Swain, or rather the Shen, too, as Tucson was running through the jungle. And so, gonna have to give up another turret.
And if we see Aatrox perma-banned in our second series and we end here, this will be our last Aatrox. It'd be fitting for Keen to be the one, because he has played the most Aatrox so far. 8 games, this is his 9th game on the Aatrox this season.
Yeah. Been seeing a lot of the new Aatrox, and Solo Q played that a bunch yesterday and the day before.
Is it a sight for sore eyes, or?
No. It's, I'm definitely in the camp of don't remake Aatrox, the guy from Challenger.
He already lost.
Yeah.
You know? GG to that guy.
He's already playing Earth.
This Gromp is DPSing the hell out of Keen, by the way.
Yeah, and he keeps his blood well up, saying if I want to engage, I can. Kibe with the good respect in the lane. Speaking of respect, he's respected so much, he's respected himself down 3 levels, as he is really not doing much on the cannon. He didn't have the presence in the lane early on to deal with the melee champion, and he has no presence later on in the game. And so this cannon pick really doing absolutely nothing for Gen G.
Noticed I was surprised when it was locked in because it's not one of the traditional counters into Keen, but it actually comes back to something I always speak about with Gen G. Kuve's never been known to play more than 3 champions at a point. It was usually Maokai, 1 carry, maybe a Kled at one point, or a Cannon at another point. It's back on the Cannon, and we like the Cannon in the Mundo matchup. The AD Cannon, I think even AP Cannon would have been way better in this game for the ability to profit off what they already had. They have very strong engage. How about blowing people up rather than just losing slowly as an AD Cannon? Because if you're losing lane as an AD Cannon, kind of already not going to contribute anything to the game.
Yeah, I mean, you can't survive in the lane as the AD Cannon as well. Might as well try to play for the team fighting, but he's not been able to do either. And Ruler just having a really sad series overall. Most damage in game number 1. He's 2-0 in game 2 with the winning lane.
Uh-oh.
We'll see, though, how he deals with this. As coming from behind here is Spirit. Good read there by Ruler to go down, but the Aatrox right on top of him does have that Tark ultimate to keep him alive, and a nice Ornn ultimate onto 3 members, and they are going to be able to kill the Vlad. Gen G with the 5-man Hemo playing on top of them. They are pretty low, looking to kite this one out. It looks like they might be able to here.
With all this healthy, they might even just turn on to Baron. There's actually a lot of value in the Cosmic Radiance in that fight. QSS used.
Kuro really low on mana too. He's trying to regen it as fast as possible. Cuvée might have found the correct opposition. It's not the Aatrox, but it might be that Skarner. Looking for the kill over there, but Spirit is super fast onto that pick.
Team-wide disengaged by Afreeca. They don't want to lose multiple members. They especially don't want to lose Spirit, because the Baron will go down. Here's the TP from Keen. He's back.
Keen's going to be so scary right now. A 3rd Mountain Drake goes to Gen G. But double TP coming in. They really want to engage here. They're going to knock him on aiming, but he gets into his pool. And now this is just routed out here for Gen G. They want to run away as fast as possible, but look at Keen up in the top side with the help of aiming. He's going to get 1, looking for 2. They will take him out. The Trundle also going down, so 3 Mountain Drakes to Gen G, but it should be Baron to Afreeca.
That feels like the Great War. It was such a long fight with double TP coming to keep it going. Don't know how you did it, Valdez. You got over the line. Now might be Afreeca Freecs getting over the line because the Baron is turned upon. If Gen G could just have rushed Baron, if the smite had been down, 3 Mountain Drakes would have been a very fast Baron. This one's going the way of Afreeca, and maybe this series as well.
You see so many games now with triple TP, with triple stopwatch. These things are helping out so much on the map, and because it extended so long, they got back into the fight.
Consider the Cosmic Radiance value here. Everyone's over 50% HP, great timing. And Keen just flashes out, he knows, crap, I actually can't do much and occupy backline space, so Keen and all the gold on him doesn't matter. And you think, actually, Gen G might have done this. Roller's full health, let's go get a Baron. They really desperately want Baron, but it's not the right shot call when there's so much mana and health on the remainder of Afreeca, so they say, let's pick Spirit. Spirit has the Yakety Sax on the top side with the cannon. From there, Gen G do get the Mountain, but like you say, triple TP meta changes things. A nice flash from Fly stops the first kill from coming in early, but then a Rambo teleport from Aiming, who, remember, has not played Marksman. He's been on the bat. He's had to shoulder initiation. He's able to initiate with the TP. Keen turns on to Roller, and this time, nowhere out for Ash.
I think after they get the flash out of Kuro on the Swain, you just got to cut your losses. You're already ahead. You're not even cutting your losses.
Yeah.
You're taking your wins. Just take it and say, okay, let's go home. They have double TP. They should be timing and know when these guys have the TPs, but they get caught off guard, and I suppose it was a little bit too hectic for them to keep up.
I mean, I'm watching Billions right now, and it's all about the stock trading, right? And selling at the right time. They had that slim margin, the 10% bonus, and they say, okay, let's hold it longer, let's hold it longer. You hold it too long, you get burned. Now they're Busto.
Yeah. Bustarino could be the name of the game here for Gen G, as you said to me in the break, maybe I should have predicted the 2-0 for Afreeca. It's certainly looking good for them now, as we had hope after they started playing well in the early game, even after the draft seemed to be Afreeca favored. But now it's, again, the Afreeca show.
I think that, look,
they're pushing.
A Gen G prediction like you made is not a bad prediction. They definitely could have won this series. Again, the reason why I keep being skeptical is I keep saying, what did Gen G show me I didn't already know? And increasingly the answer is nothing. They still are very good around Rollis. Roller is a god. He's been fantastic this season, maybe the best overall player in the league. But apart from that, Juve, small champion pool, Ambition and Haru, up and down. Fly can sometimes really impress us, especially at the start of the season, but he went away from like, whoa, we can play Lulu, Zoe, and all of them meta too. Oh, we can play Lulu, Zoe, sometimes Galio, I guess Ornn. So unfortunately, the hype train kind of slowed down pretty early for me, and Afreeca have always had really big champion pools. Kuro has always played almost everything. It just feels like overall Gen G don't have enough to close the series.
Well, here we go. They're going to get the Tauntaun in. Cosmic Radiance is going to get down just barely in time. They have the damage on the Keen here, but there it comes. Finally, the Trundle dies and flies all alone in the front line. They take out the turret, and this Aatrox is just going bonkers right now, as is that Vlad. He has hit 3 items, and that should mean the game is going to be over. They have the push with the Baron, and it looks like Afreeca have done it again.
They can just run at the enemy team, and there's so little Gen G can do. Ash can do a lot of things in the siege, but not so much in the fights when the Vladimir has the items, and Afreeca want to close the game here.
Nicely done there by Tucson. Coming in, gets the engage onto the Ash. There's the 8. Another kill for the Aatrox. Might be the last one we see, guys, as Afreeca is going to take the 2-0 victory. They're all laughs and smiles in the booth. Very well deserved.
X explodes. Afreeca Freecs goes to Rift Rivals with a win, and a resounding one over Gen G. Gen G will drop to 5-2 now, 6-2 perhaps, and Afreeca Freecs joining them at that stat line. It's so close at the top of the LCK. Griffin still have more matches to play than everyone else. They'll play after the break, and we'll get to judge whether they really are a front runner or if they will also fall onto an oncoming pack. That seems like it's 6 teams wide. There's so many teams that on their day can win. Start of the season, I said KT and Afreeca. They both play today. Afreeca Freecs, they've fallen away. They've had some struggles. They look a lot better here. When the Aatrox change comes in, when Keen loses that champion, can he find the same level of performance on other picks? We still need to wait and see.
Definitely disappointed faces here across the board for Gen G. I mean, honestly, I feel like they didn't lose in draft, but I think they lost draft in both games. And Afreeca played their compositions a lot better. I mean, they ban out the Rakan, they give the Aatrox first pick to Keen, and we see what happens. Their counter for the Keen Aatrox, which they should have had in their notes, they should have been like, this guy plays mostly Aatrox, and Aatrox is basically broken right now. What are we going to counter with that? The Kennen comes in and loses hardcore to the Aatrox. It was not the answer, and it was not impressive.
And it's one of those weird scenarios where it's always hard to do results-based analysis, right? We talked about the analysis in the draft. We could see how it worked, right? We got the Chance solo kill in the mid lane. We saw Trundle counter jungling and battle warding, and then Ruler taking the turret bot side, and you say, okay. So then you rotate around, you take all the turrets, you close the game. It's all beautiful. What a god draft from Gen G. The problem is, if that is ever halted, every fallback pattern again is on the side of Afreeca. This game is always Gen G does the one thing or lose. It's not this, this, or this. It's always one thing or lose, and that's really hard execution against Afreeca. Afreeca have so much fallback, are very strong at being able to read the map and not give away massive advantages. And Afreeca, you know, eventually the game turned, and it just didn't seem like they were going to fall behind after that.
Yep, this fight was the one big fight I mentioned. I did not like the way they went into this one. They felt forced to try to keep their mid tier 1 turret alive, and they lose the fight hardcore. The Swain ends up getting so much sustained damage over the course of the super long fight. Kuro with a nice flash forward, and the Never Move as well is just owning on that Swain pick. Just another great high-tier pick that they gave over to Afreeca.
Okay, some of the vision toggles here. This was a good fight for Gen G at the start. Able to not make Keen run at Ruler and have him do no damage. So you see why the Cosmic Radiance, it's just the Taric support rather than a funnel strategy happened. But you reevaluate, the fight extends, and in a triple teleport meta, first Keen comes in and does good work, and then Aiming makes what is such a risky move, but it wins them the game. The game was still up in the balance here, but Aiming getting into the back line and buying time for the rest of his team to first focus on ambition while Keen got easy target acquisition to Ruler. That is where the game was won for the Afreeca Freecs.
Yeah, Afreeca playing it out very, very well. I think Gen G definitely could look over these two games, not only in the drafts, but in some of the macro plays they made, especially here in Game 2, and learn a lot, go back to the drawing board, and come back the next time. Afreeca definitely here in Korea is top 2, maybe top 3 teams, so it's hard to take the loss, but understandable when you're going up against such a great team.
And Gen G does have the Rift Rivals break in order to look into some of those changes and try to tinker with their lineups. I hope they spend the time on champion pools. I said it for 2 years and I haven't really seen it, so I'm skeptical, but always optimistic. I want to see the world champions defend their crown. It was so crushing in 2014 that SK Telecom couldn't be there to defend, because beating the champions is already a story in and of itself. Sadly for Gen G, in spring season, a lot of teams beat the champions. And in summer season, it's a good start, but do they have their best 5 on the Rift? We still don't know.
Still trying to figure it out. And here we go, guys. Let's go into the MVP. It is going to be Keen on the Aatrox. No surprise to me. So we will be hearing from the 2Ks here from the Afreeca Freecs, Keen and Kuro. And it says, you're going to remake my Aatrox? Is that for real? Well, sorry, Keen. Yes, it is. And that might be the last time we do see it. But we'll be hearing from Kuro and Keen in the MVP here interview. I'll hand it over to G-Sun.
모두에게 하나씩 좀 묻고 싶은 게 있는데 잘 걸렸어요. MVP 걸려가지고. 왜냐면 이 맨날 하는 얘기가 있거든요. 조명희 선수가 특히 이제 프로 선수 같은 경우는 아직 부족해요. 우리 아직 안 됩니다. 이러면서 6승 2패까지 올라왔고, 긴 선수 난 아트록스 싫어요. 이러면서 아트록스로 계속 승리를 쌓아 올리고 있습니다. 어떻게 된 거예요? 프로 선수.
일단 그냥 제가 말을 했던 건 저희가 너무 많이 졌잖아요.
언제요?
그러니까 조금 이상하게 졌다 해야 되나? 저희가 못해서 졌어요.
It's because
그거에
our
화난
weird
거고
mistake.
좀 열심히 해서 이제 좀 다시 올라와서 다행이라고 생각합니다.
아, 지금 좀 올라왔다.
지금 좀 올라온 것 같아요.
이 정도 얘기가 좀 나와줘야죠. 앞으로 또 큰 대회를 또 기다리고 있으니까. 그럼 지난번에 비해서는 이번에는 좀 약간 몇 점 좀 상승했나요?
어떤 거요?
자, 본인의 그 평가 점수가 좀 올라왔나요?
저번에 저희 팀 점수가 10점 만점에 한 3점이었다면
어이구.
오늘은 한 8점?
오늘은 괜찮았다. 오늘은 8점까지 지금 올랐다는 얘기고.
네.
아트록스 이래도 별로예요?
아 제가 아트록스를 많이 하긴 하는데 저 진짜 재미도 없고 별로 안 좋아하거든요.
근데 아까 왜 웃었어요? 아트록스 그러고?
이게 사실 하기 싫었는데 아트록스 1팩 가자.
그럼 이제 일단 뭐 그것도 한번 여쭤볼게요. 아트록스 이제 바뀌잖아요. 어떻게 보면 사실상 기인이 지금 현 배치 상황에서 아트록스를 마지막 보는 거예요. 다음 경기도 물론 있겠습니다만
네.
기인 입장에서는 그럴 수 있을 것 같거든요. 어때요? 바뀐 아트록스하고 지금 아트록스 비교하면?
지금 아트록스가 더 좋긴 좋더라고요. 이제 바뀐 아트록스 해봤는데 그냥 겉멋만 있고 그냥 그게 끝?
아, 좀 약간 아쉽다 지금.
Hi guys, we're back.
Yeah, we're back. Sorry about this. The mic is actually broken that G-Sun has, so
So we've lost translation.
you know.
Do you have Skype open? Joel might be on there.
I wish I did.
Sorry guys, we don't have Skype installed on the computers here. That's too risky. My raid call
I could
account
try to
awkwardly
listen.
has expired, so I can't get on a raid call.
Hold on, let me try to listen.
All right,
Let's try to
Valda's
save
chance.
this
Valda's chance.
broadcast.
Get in there. How you doing there, Valdez?
We didn't practice this comp. You're talking about Blitzcrank. We've tried a lot of different compositions, but we didn't try this specific one with the Blitzcrank. Okay, that was the Valdez chance. I'm going to give it back to G-Sun as she has her mic back. We'll be back, guys.
아까 잠깐 세봤는데 한 14번 맞췄더라고요.
So
전투력에 관련된 부분들
you landed a lot of your E to the enemy's champions.
그래서 나머지 조합까지 힘을 받았다는 그런.
So there was a lot of synergy between your team comps. So what are your comments about that?
좀 잘 맞췄던 것 같아요.
To be honest, yeah, I think our teamwork was pretty okay. So that kind of showed up in better results.
잘한 것 같아요.
Yeah, I think all of our teammates were doing really well.
조이의 수면방울.
수면방울이자
So maybe at the MVP could be the trouble bubble and the solo kill for Ezreal.
일단 요런 것들.
뭐죠 이게 아닌데.
Well, this is not the one I mentioned.
과정.
So we're gonna go all over the highlights.
연결되는 그 컨비네이션이 너무 뛰어나서 저희가 한번 잡아봤고요. 요거죠 원콤.
So this is the one you mentioned, the solo kill.
만족스러워요?
자 1분 전에 말했거든요.
네?
야 나 데켓보이 되면 원콤 내줄 수 있어.
Well, I told my teammates that if I build up my items, I can just solo kill Ezreal. So I was really confident.
진짜 세요.
그러니까요. 네.
딱 뜨자마자 그냥 제가 말했어요. 나 이거 원콤강 내줄 수 있겠다.
So I was really confident. I was telling the teammates that I can take down 80 carries by myself.
거의 유일하게 실질적으로 조이가 이렇게 하고 끝낼지 몰랐어요라고 대부분 얘기를 했었는데 계산이 가능했던.
So I guess you were quite confident about the damage about Zoe.
네, 워낙 많이 하다 보니까.
Yeah, I've been playing Zoe a lot, so yeah, I got the calculations with me.
할수 있는 정말 품이 있는 얘기였어요. 1세트는 뭐 기인 선수 좀 기억나는 장면 없었어요? 뭐 있었어요?
Any highlights from you, Keen, for the first set?
딱히 없던 것 같은데요.
Nothing special.
좀 더 기억해 볼까요?
Can you try a little bit more?
딱 적은 거 말고 그래도 하나는 있을 것 같은데 뭐가 있었을까요?
There can be one.
진짜 지금 기억이 안 나요, 사실.
I can barely remember the first game.
되죠? 일단 뭐 1세트는 모를 수 있으니까. 사실은 많은 팬 여러분들께서 기인 선수에 대해서 진짜 굉장히 많이.
Well, you know, there is very high expectations on you, Keen.
시오플로 계속 얘기를 국대 탁긴. 국대
A lot of fans out here holding your slogans here.
두 명의 선수를 같이 또 응원하시는 팬 여러분도 계실 정도로 두 분에 대해서 굉장히 팬들이 지지가 지금 올라오고 있거든요.
The fans are really supporting about Kuro and Keen especially.
올라오고 있는 느낌이 있는데 기인은 점점 조심해지는 것 같아요.
이게
Well, for me,
원래 이렇게 잘 나갈 때 함부로 하면
when
안
I'm
돼요.
doing well, I have to be more like humble.
좀 그걸 많이 느꼈거든요.
그랬어요? 이거 때 프로 선수가 뭔가 얘기해 주려고 그런 것 같은데.
Kuro has something to say?
좀 차분하니 좀.
Well, Keen is some kind of a calm and really shy guy. Yeah.
안 덤덤한 줄 알고 좀 센 걸 좀 부탁드렸는데 제가 잘못했네요.
아니 뭐
Well, I'm just, you know,
친구예요.
see that he's really shy and he's really calm all the time.
얘기를 좀 했던 두 명의 선수인데 사실 기인 선수한테 그 장면을 여쭤본 게 물론 뭐 그때 당시에는 그 순간 이동도 없었습니다만 그 제외하고
So we want to ask you about the team fights in game 2.
미는 장면이 있었어요.
You are also side pushing in all the side lanes by yourself.
판단한 장면도 있지 않았나라는
So was that your own decision or the team call?
그래도 미는 건 제가 판단해서
About the side lanes, yeah, it's my own
제
decision.
개인적인 그거 같아요.
개인적인 판단으로 밀은
I do that by myself.
그 장면 때문에 만들어졌었던 약간 역전의 발판도 상당히 많았었고 분위기를 완전히 넘어간 장면이 있었으니까 기억이 잘 안 난다고 해서
So you said you don't remember, so we prepared clips for you.
이때 아주 굉장히 깊숙이 밀어버린 바람에 큐베를
이제 좀 따고 싶었는데 잘
Well, I actually wanted to take him down, but he was escaping so well.
따내고 싶었는데 결실을 그러지 못했었고 이 장면 어떻게 기억나요?
Do you remember this one?
이때 사실 탑을 밀고 있었어서 자세히 못 봤어요.
Well, actually, I was pushing the top lane, so I wasn't really aware of this team fight.
블라디가 터져서 좀 망했다 싶어서 이제
Well, I saw Vladimir melting down, so I thought we lost, but maybe I can go in and kind of re-engage at that moment.
온 순간 어떤 상황인지 모르는데 왔는데 썩 좋지 못한 상황에서 도착하자마자 갑자기 오른이 다 띄우고 막 이러면서 좀 어려운 상황들이 있었잖아요. 근데
So you kind of contributed a lot in the team fight at that moment.
네.
네.
좋았던 것 같아요.
Yeah, I think that was a good play on my side.
이제 미드에 관련된 질문을 또 안 될 수가 없는 것이 이제 쿠로 선수한테
So we have question for you, Kuro.
챔피언 폭도 넓고
Your champion pool is really broad, and also
다양한 생각을 가지고 있을 것 같아요.
there are a lot of champions coming up in mid lane.
오른이 나왔거든요.
Today Orange, yesterday Poppy. So what are your comments about the current meta?
이번 메타가 그냥 뭐 어떤 챔피언이 나와도
Well,
상관없어요.
the current meta, it is never weird to see any different champions in any lanes. You can see Garen in mid lane or top lane. So yeah, everything is viable right now.
가렌 좋아요.
Garen is a good champion.
미드 가렌을 옛날에 좀 했었는데
I played it in mid lane for a while ago. I think it's a really good
가렌이 제일
try.
네, 그래서요.
네.
그래서 게임도 쉬울 줄 알았어요.
And Garen is the most easy champion to play.
게임은 어려워요.
네, 근데 그 다음부터 뭐 가렌 뭐 이게 거의 우리가 볼 수가 없었는데 가렌도 가능하다.
가능하면 어느 선수
So yeah, Garen is viable in competitive games.
2년 안에
Maybe in 2 years you're gonna see it, and maybe in LCK.
2년 안에 등장한다는 프로 선수의 이야기였습니다. 한번 기대해 보도록 하겠습니다. 그러니까 2세트의 전투 장면도 굉장히 인상 깊은 장면이 많았습니다. 특히나 긴 전투가 있었잖아요.
There was a very long team fight near the dragon in game 2.
전투기도 하고 세 번째 그 대제 드래곤 앞에서의 전투였는데 그때 상황에서는 상대편도 굉장히
So what was going on over there?
장면들이 있었는데 그때는 어떤 장면들 어떤 얘기를 했었어요? 긴 선수 먼저.
보면서 얘기해야 될 것 같은데요.
Maybe I have to check out the clip.
보면서 얘기할 수 있어요. 그 장면.
이때 오른이 떨어져 있어서 오른 먼저 보자 해서
Well, I saw that Orin is very far away from his teammates, so we tried to take him down first, but he escaped. So
다 같이
Vladimir kind of came together.
들어갔던 것 같아요.
So we just went all in and ended up with a very good result.
이 타이밍이 진짜 아슬아슬하지 않았어요? 이번에 쿠로 선수가 한번 좀 얘기해 주실래요? 이 장면?
Kuro, you wanna add on to that?
이전에
처음부터.
여기서부터요.
네.
여기서부터는 이제 저희가 그냥 싸우자는 콜이었고 텔포
Yeah, we just said let's open team fight here because we have all the TPs.
잘 갈려서 잘 싸운 것 같아요.
And we had good positions overall, and we ended up in good results.
얼마나 장면이 있었잖아요. 네.
Great engagement here.
왜 솔직히 저희는 오른쪽만 싸우고 있어서 왼쪽은 아예 상황을
To be honest, I was really concentrating on taking the Orin, but rest of the teammates was saying we should better take down Ashe. So we were kind of like having different decisions, but we all able to take down both of the players.
오른쪽대로 일단 쿠로 선수가 합류했었던 전투 좋았었고 굉장히 좋은 장면들이 연이어 있었던 2세트였습니다. 인상 굉장히 깊었었는데 사실 최근에 이 좋은 흐름이 특정 어떤 뭐랄까요 토테미즘과 연결돼 있다는 얘기가 있어요.
So there is some kind of totem that lets you have great performance in Afreeca Freecs.
뭐 아들을 낳으려면 어디 가서 뭘 만져야 되고 뭐 이런 거 있잖아요. 왜 이런 말씀 드렸냐면 최근에 쿠로 선수 배가 인기가
Because
너무 많다는 얘기가 있어요.
recently I saw your stomach is getting popular and popular.
다른 팀의 팀원들까지
Even other players in other team came to touch your stomach.
사진에 잡힌 장면이 있었거든요. 왜 갑자기?
Why is that?
제가
네.
배랑
Well, my belly and my butt
토실토실해요.
is kind of chubby,
느낌이 좋다 해야 되나 맞죠?
so kind of it feels good when you like just give it a touch. So yeah, there are a lot of players who want to give it a touch when they see me. Is it okay for me to give it a try?
알았어요.
Maybe next time.
어떤 느낌인지 알겠어요. 그러면 일단은 주변에 굉장히 친한 사람들만 일단 들어갈 수 있는
So
부분이에요.
maybe some people close to you can get the chance.
슬쩍 만지더라고요.
No, they just randomly come over to me and just touch my belly.
긴 선수는 내일이 1주년이에요. 내일 1주년.
Keen, tomorrow is your first year anniversary in LCK. Really? I didn't really know.
축하드려요.
Congratulations.
네, 축하드려요. 저희도 이제 아까 긴 선수의 그 1주년.
So we prepared this cookie for you.
처음 봤어요.
일단 바꾸고 얘기하세요. 저희도 일단 그 1주년 기념을 저희도 같이 받아가지고
To celebrate your first year anniversary, your fans have prepared this cookie.
1년 사이 이렇게 빨리 성장한 선수가 있냐라는 생각이 들 정도로
And you know, you have improved a lot during the past year.
신예 선수가 보여준 것들 그 이상을 지금 보여주고
And you are now more than a rookie player.
팬 여러분께 한 말씀 해주셔야죠.
Any message for your fans?
일단 1년 안에 이렇게 많이 성장한 게 저도 좀
Yeah, I'm really happy that I've made these improvements by myself.
네, 그렇죠.
It's really amazing, and also I always appreciate all the love and support from my fans.
드릴 것 같아요. 오늘 그러면 오늘 1주년 특별히 축하해 주신 팬 여러분께 감사하다고 한 말씀 해주신다면요.
Any more message?
항상 오셔서 응원해 주셔서
Thank you for coming out to support us. Thank you.
알겠습니다. 사실 덤덤한 성격을 가진 선수가 이만큼 얘기하는 건 진짜 많이 얘기한 거예요. 진짜 많이 한 거예요. 아마 이 마음은 충분히.
That was a very touching message from Keen, who's a very shy boy. And we have another occasion to celebrate here because Spirit is having his birthday today. So let's bring him up to the stage.
고맙습니다.
Thank you.
자, 우리가 스피릿 선수. 일단 마이크 잠깐만 전해 주세요. 일단 승리 축하드리고요.
Good to have you here, Spirit. Thank you.
오늘이 몇 살째 생일이죠?
So this is my
네.
24th birthday, 23rd birthday.
네. 네, 23번째일 것 같은데요.
Yeah, I think it's 23rd birthday.
과연 스피릿은 몇 살일까요? 네. 써주시나요?
24번째.
네.
뭐야, 왜 내가?
Well, I'm really confused.
본인 자신에 대해서 인상 깊게 보여주셨는데, 그래서 오늘 그 스피릿 선수의 23세일지 24세일지 약간 애매한 그.
So anyway, it is your birthday today.
아,
So we prepared something for you.
케이크를 한번 준비를 해봤습니다.
It's a birthday cake.
좀 긴 손 좀 도와주실래요? 네. 일단 프로 선수가 좀 도와주시고. 불은 붙여야지만 안 하겠습니까?
So we want to light it up.
준비해 왔어요. 네.
So we prepared everything for this birthday cake.
불 한번 붙이고 붙여주실래요? 되겠어요. 제가 마이크 드릴게요. 네. 원래 생일이라는 건 다 함께 그 축하해
You know, birthday is about celebrating together with all the people.
쪽만 붙여주시면 되겠습니다. 해피 쪽만 쭉 붙여주시고. 생각보다 불이 잘 안 붙네요. 네.
So it's taking a bit more than I expected. So sorry. But anyways, this is a cake for you, Spirit.
케이크 드세요.
You can have it.
케이크 드세요. 네, 드시고 들고 노래 한번 불러줘야죠. 하나, 둘, 셋, 넷. 생일 축하합니다.
It's a birthday song for Spirit.
생일 축하합니다. 사랑하는 스피릿. 생일 축하합니다. 축하드려요.
Congratulations.
다들 감사합니다.
네.
Thank you very much, everybody.
저희가 또 이게 케이크만 가면 좀 그러니까.
And we have prepared something else.
와, 감사합니다.
Your birthday present.
네, 오픈해 보세요.
Open it up.
저희가 약간 소음만 듣고 골라가지고 마음에 안 들 수도 있어가지고. 스피릿 선수가 이거 좀 좋아한다고 그래 제가 일단.
Well, we've heard that this is one of your favorite character.
일단 눈은 좀 가렸어요. 저희가 눈은 좀 가릴 수밖에 없는.
You know, there can be a copyright issue, so we covered their eyes. But do you like it? I really love it. Thank you very much.
사의 캐릭터인데 저작권이 세가지고.
So this is the
케이블을 좀 가렸다는
character
점만
from
양해해
the
주시기
animation
바라겠습니다.
company.
팬 여러분께서 좀 많이 축하해 주셨는데 한 말씀 좀 부탁드릴게요.
Any message for the fans?
제가 생일날에 이렇게 경기를 하게 됐는데
It's really happy to have my series on my birthday, so it's really happy.
또 다행히 저희 이겼잖아요.
And we also got the victory in the end.
팬 여러분 덕분인 것 같아가지고.
And I want to share all the credit with my fans.
뭐라 말해야 될지 모르겠는데 정말 감사합니다.
Thank you very much.
네, SP 선수의 생일 축하까지 한번 이어받았습니다. 이제 끝으로
So wrapping up,
가셔야 되잖아요.
you guys have to
아,
be
이제
at
오랜만에
China
그
for the
연맹
Rift Rivals.
해외 무대에 대한 경험치도 많은 선수도 있고 이제 서서히 쌓아 올라가는 그런 선수들도
So
있는데
you guys
어떻습니까?
are
김 선수?
gonna have an international league over there.
국가대표로서 이제 아시안 게임에 관련된 경험치 쌓았는데 이제
So any
리프트
message
라이브거든요.
regarding the Rift Rivals?
솔직히 이제 해외 대회 한번 경험했잖아요.
Well, I have one experience in global tournaments, so
긴장도 안 되고.
I'm gonna feel less nervous. Yeah, I think it will be really cool.
목표를 조금 더 높이 잡아도 되지 않을까요?
Then what's your goal?
이제 당연히 우승.
Of course, winning the series.
최근에 어려운 장면이 있었습니다만 이제 분명히 개인 선수는 그럴 만한 모습을 보여줄 만한 실력을 보여줬기 때문에 우승 한번 기대해 보도록 하겠습니다. 쿠로 선수도
What about you, Kuro?
네, 오랜만에 해외 대회인데
It has been a while since I've been to a global tournament, so I'm gonna really prepare a lot and make sure to win at the end.
자 그리고 스피릿 선수 역시
LCK를 좀 대표해서 나가는 거잖아요.
You know, we are
저희 네 팀이.
representing LCK,
그에 걸맞게
So,
좀 실망스러운 경기력 안
we have to make sure not to let the
열심히
LCK
우승하고
fans
오겠습니다.
down.
감사합니다. 네.
Thank you very much.
박정희 선수의 굳은 다짐까지 한번 들어봤습니다. 자 이렇게 해서 아프리카 프릭스 오늘 경기 2대0으로 말끔하게 승리를
So
따내면서
Afreeca Freecs picked up 2-0 victory today, and I will pass it back to our casters. Thank you.
여러분들 많은 관심 부탁드리겠습니다. 지금까지 MVP를 차지한 2명 선수 그리고 오늘 세계를 맞이한 스피릿 선수와 함께했습니다. 다시 한번 큰 박수 부탁드리겠습니다.
Man, a lot of things happened.
Well-
That was a very eventful interview, Valdez.
That was a lot of fun. I'm glad I got to debut my translating skills here on the desk. Jisun had to steal the spotlight away. Turns out that's her job. But yeah, it was fun. I mean, it's great to see. It's a big day for Afreeca today, actually. The birthdays, they got debut anniversaries. They won 2-0 against a good team.
You also
It's good
lose sight
stuff.
of the fact that the Afreeca Freecs org has been there since the start of 2016, and they're going international for the first time. It's actually really big for them as an organization, big Korean streaming platform, to finally debut on the international stage at Rift Rivals. People will say all sorts of things about how important Rift Rivals is. To the Afreeca Freecs, I'm sure it's everything.
It's huge. You know, they want to go over there and get the win after 2-0ing Gen G. Certainly, they have come equipped and ready to go to actually take a bunch of games over there for LCK. We'll see if they can do it. Guys, it is 7:07, so it should be about 40 minutes until we do get into our second match of the night, which will be KT versus MVP. And again, it's the KT roller coaster. You never know what's going to happen. Maybe MVP shows up in 2-0, so should be a fun series.
KT have tripped up against MVP before. They took down Griffin. What does it mean? Is it going to be now? Are they going to beat MVP and go and lose to the third place LMS team? It's possible. You know, that is the KT way. Are we bugging out? Because our screens are really bugging out. That just happened.
I think that the Korean casters are laughing too.
We died. I
Wow!
guess.
Oh,
we're back.
Okay, we were just going into a different dimension. Sorry, guys, we're back here on the stage.
All those things just happened, right?
Oh God, guys, we are going to be back in 40 minutes. Join us for KT versus MVP.